Hi, this is Charles with an introduction or video example of play of the Naval War of 1812 by Worthington Games. The cards, each player has 27 cards, and the first thing that happens is you shuffle the deck and you discard the first two cards, making the remaining cards 25. Now you get a card round of 5 cards per round, and then you get, there's 5 rounds, so it basically works out. As soon as you're out of cards, the game is over. Each turn, the British player will get an extra warship entering the game here. He starts with 3, the American player starts with 4, and then the second turn, third turn, fourth turn, and fifth turn, he will get an extra warship entry. The American player does not get that. The American player has the white merchant ships, and their goal is to get over here and exit the board. The British player starts here, and their goal is to exit the board and get over there. Now, the American players' attack values are weaker. The British attack values for the warships are stronger. Merchant ships cannot attack, but they can defend. And so far, it seems to be a pretty interesting game. So we're going to draw out 5 cards. And just draw out one randomly for each side, just to show how the game plays and stuff. So both players select a card from their hand and flip it face up at the same time, and the person with the lower value goes first. The American player wins ties. So the American players played Old Ironsides. Blue warships can ignore hits in combat. And the British player plays Britannia Rules, add 1 MP maximum straight movement points to the limits of the red warships. So each player has a maximum distance they can move. They can turn and then move their maximums. So the British warship can move 2 forward. So he can turn in place, and then 1, 2, move 2 spaces. The American player can move 3, so they can turn. Only at the beginning of your turn can you turn, and then move 1, 2, 3. So now that we've had +1, we could add 1 to the extra movement if we wanted to. So the American player goes first. The blue ships can ignore hits, and we get 5 movement points. So we're going to go ahead and try to get our guys going here. So 1, 2. So the maximum for a merchant ship is 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's it for the American player's turn. Britannia, or British, gets 1 extra MP maximum, so they can move 3 this turn if they want. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we'll do the second card. British player goes first. Bermuda and Halifax. To start the card round, remove 1 hit from 1 red warship, so nobody's been hit yet. That's not going to help. British gray merchant ships may not move, so the British can't move their ships this turn. And let's do the British first. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm sorry, they only get +1 to their movement. They can't move their ship, so this guy's got to move 1. So you have to use all your movement points if you can. And so now we're looking at 8. So the British ships cannot move, which would have been good for us if we were in a position to attack. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so next card. British. I think we're going to see an attack here in a second. So the warships only have a defensive value of 1. They take 1 hit and then they're done. So looks like the British are going to go play first. They get to add 1 MP to their maximum straight movement points. He's going to turn for 1, 2, 3, which is normal. He gets to add 1 MP, 4, and 5. So the British player attacks with 3 dice. And I see a 6 in there. And the American warship defends with 2 dice. So it's 6 to 4. And so the American player will take 1 hit. Again, they can take up to 2 hits before they're removed from the game and then counted towards VP. So I took some cotton markers. I spray painted them yellow, and then you can take a red or orange and black magic markers to kind of make it look more effective and stuff, but that kind of adds a little visual effect. I like it better than the poker chips that come with the game. Okay, so now the American player's taken damage, and now the American has... Oh, I'm sorry, the American player could have moved first this round, but we'll just ignore that for this turn. So we've got 8 movement points. So 1, 2, 3, which is our maximum movement points. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and that's the end of the turn. Next card. The French Navy and the British. 7. Marines. Add 1 VP for each merchant American ship sunk this round to represent its capture as a prize. Or the French Navy. To start the card round, the American player selects 1 red warship anywhere on the board and rolls 1 die. On a roll of 5 or 6, the ship is immediately returned to British red navigation ports. So, we'll do that. And I think we will select this one. No, actually, we're getting ready to attack that one. So this one right here. And we've rolled a 5. So he is returned to port. Alright, so the British player goes first. Add 1 VP for each American ship sank this round. So let's get him into position here. I don't think we can get anybody. I tell you what, we'll put him here because the British player gets to select which port. So 1, 2, 3. Four, 5, 6. I guess we can't use that. 7. Okay, so now the American player. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. So this one right here, he's going to take a +1 if he moves up next time, so we're going to do 7. Maybe we'll get the initiative next time. Okay. Maybe I should have moved 8. I can't remember. But that's good enough. Alright, and so the last card of the turn. 6 and 3. So the American player goes first. Free trade, sailors, and rights. British gray merchant ships may not move. American white merchant ships may not move. Well, I guess we get no movement there. It's going to be a lot of attacks. So we got 3 for the American players. They go first. So he's going to be able to attack him. We're going to leave him there. He's going to be able to attack him, but we have to move 3. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. That's our full movement. Now combat. So we've got 2. So American warship gets 3. I'm sorry. Attack value. Yep, gets 2 attack. And the British warship defense with 3. So we've got 3 in there and 2 in there. So we're going to do this combat first. We've got a 3 and a 3. So the American player, I'm sorry, I think if it's ties, there's no combat, nothing happens there. So now we're going to take a look at this one. We're crossing the T. So the American player gets a +1 to their die rolls. So that's 2. So he rolled 2 3s, and that's a 4. And here we have a 6, so there's no effect. That was kind of stinky. And let's see, so now we've got the British player who moves 6. He's got a better attack than this guy, so he might go ahead and stay right there. 1. 2. Oh, I forgot to enter the new one for this. Is this round 2 yet? Nope. 2, 3, 4. I guess we have to move. 5, 6. Okay, so we only have 1 combat this round. It's 3 versus the American warship's defense of 2. So we have a 3 on the British side. And we have a 5 on the American player's side, so there's no effect there. Now we go on to the next round. So the British warship comes on. We'll do right here. Okay, I'm going to deal out 5 more cards. Okay, so first round. Now there's a lot more strategy involved, a lot more fun when you're playing against somebody, because right now I'm just playing off the top card of the deck. Can't really plan for anything. So the American player plays a 9. The American player moves first this round. The British player plays a 6. To start the card round, we'll move 1 hit from 1 red warship. So that is good. Alright, so the American player goes first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And he's not attacking his own ship. 8. 9. Okay, so battles. American player gets 2. against the British player's 3 defense. So we have a 3 to 6, no effect. Then we have a battle here. So we have, I've got to check this out because there's 2 sets of attacks there. So the British player won this fight. I'm pretty sure, just for the sake of the video to keep going, we'll do a separate attack here. And 6 to 3, so the British player takes 1 hit. Okay, so that's it for the American player's turn. Now the British player to start the round. Oh, start to come. We already did that. Okay, so 6. So we're going to go. One, 2, to slow that American player down from exiting the board. Three, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so British attacks. So British attack with 3 here. And he rolls a 3. Defense for the American player on this side is 2. And he's okay. And I'm not sure if he can attack from both sides, so I'm going to pause the video for a second here. So yeah, it looks like he gets 2 attacks. So the next attack is a 4 to 6 and no effect. Any more attacks? I'm looking for British attacks. Nothing. Alright, so now looking at American player 6 to 5. So Baltimore Clipper. American white ships may not be attacked. Pretty well blocked in though. To start the round, remove 1 hit from 1 red ship. And they have a 5, so they go first. So he'll stay in place, so that's nothing. 2, 3. Oh, it can't be attacked. 4, 5. And that's it for the British player. So now let's do our attacks. So British player is the first attack against this side. He rolls a 6. American player rolls a 4. And that is 1 hit. Okay, and then the second attack. Six to 1. That's a pretty bad attack. So fortunately they can take 2 hits. So now we've got another battle here. Alright, so 6 to 2. So that's 2 hits. The American player is removed. And then for victory points, the British is worth the American ship is worth 3 points, so he gets 1, 2, 3. And by the way, these are cubes I used from another game. It's not part of the game. Okay, so the British player went first. Attack there, there, there. Near another attack here. 6. This is not working out well for the American player. To 5. Okay. So this warship will stay out until the beginning of the next round. Merchant ships return on the next card play. Warships return on the next round of cards. Okay, so now it's the American player's turn. So we get 6 movement points. Let's see. 2. Three, 4. 5, 6. So white merchant ships can attack, and that's pretty much it. So let's take a look at what we've got here. We've got 2 dice against 3. So that's 3 to 3 and no effect. Then now this attack here. 2 to 6. Nice. And that's it for our attacks. Next card. Baltimore Clipper. American white merchant ships may not be attacked, which is good. 8. Add 1 VP for each American ship sunk this round to represent its capture as a prize. Okay. American player goes first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now attacks. The ship to this ship to this ship. 4 to 6. Nothing. Second attack. 3 to 6. Nothing. And so I'm afraid the American player's pretty much in trouble right now. With the British player, it's going to be bad. You can't attack the merchant ships, which is good, but those warships are in danger of being out for the next 2 card rounds. So we've got the British playing 8, add 1 VP for each American ship sunk this round, which is going to be big because they're in a position to do that. So let's do the movement. So 1, 2, 3. He'll get a +1 for crossing the T. So that's 3. 4, 5, 6. We've got to use that 7th. Seven. Oops. 8. So that's good. Moving. All right. So that's done. So let's do our attacks. So here, 5 to 2 dice and 2. So this guy is removed from the game. He is worth victory points. American warship is worth 3 victory points sunk. And then you get +1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Next attack is here. So that's 3. I see this 2 6s in there. That's 2 to 6. So there's no effect there. And then crossing the T is a +1. So 4, plus 1 is 5, to 3, and that's 2 hits, and this guy is sunk. So 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 1 for the card. And that's it. So now the American player is in some serious trouble. So he's just got to run for the border and hope he can get to the next card round. These guys are going to enter here, and all of his ships are pretty much kind of toast. So let's see what happens here. So 9 to 7. The British player will go first with blockade. So superior gunnery. Add 1 blue warship combat to die rolls. Well, we don't only have 1 ship, so it's not going to be much help. The British players, to start the card round, the British player selects 1 American blue warship anywhere on the board and rolls 1 die. Roll of 6 returns immediately to the American blue navigation port. So this is bad for the American player because it takes away his only attack. And the roll is a 4, and he's okay. Alright, so 7 is first. We'll do, as the British player, 1, 2, that's all they can move, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now the American player's turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm still trying to figure out how that merchant ship got on this side of the board. I must have messed something up earlier. Okay, so that's it. The American player gets a 2 dice attack against a British merchant ship, which gets 1 dice. So that's 6. 2, 6, and he gets a +1, so that's 7, and he's removed for 1 victory point for the Americans. Finally on the board, their ships. Okay, that's 1 attack. Nothing else left to attack. Wow, so last card. Add +1 to combat rolls against American white merchant ships. Impressment. British red warships roll 1 less die in combat. Wow. Not going to help much. But let's see. Okay, so the American player goes first. He's going to go 1. And this guy comes back in. Anywhere, I'm sorry, I think it's anywhere on this side of the board here. So he'll come in here. So that's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. If I was smart, I would have just moved him off. Back that guy up 1. That's it. So British red ships roll 1 less die in combat, fortunately. And now it's 8 for the those guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No combats. End of the turn. These guys come back here. deal out 5 more cards, and that's pretty much the whole gameplay, back and forth. So it's very much like a chess match. It's a lot of fun. I think it'll be a lot more fun where I can actually plan the cards and kind of have some strategy to it as far as how many movement points I want to use this turn and how many I want to save up for the next and stuff. I like the cards. I like the ships. I'm planning on painting the blue ships, the sails white, and the red ship sails white. And I'm trying to figure out something here with the white ships. But I think it would look really good painted up. The board is really nice. The cards are very nice, but I want to sleeve them. I did try to sleeve them, but you can see when you touch them, there's a little greasy mark there and stuff like that. So I wanted to get something clear because I want to be able to see the back. I did sleeve them with some colored sleeves like this earlier, but I really didn't like that look. I just like the look of this. So hopefully I can find something in a clear. But the gameplay is great. There's a lot of fun with the extra actions you can do with the cards and stuff like that. The American player feels a little weak, but I'm sure that there's some sort of balance built into it as you play more. But it seems like a lot of fun. Very light. I think anybody could play this, even kids. Not a lot of complexity. The rules are super light, but to me, that's part of the beauty is that you don't have to know a lot of rules, and it's just strategy. The historical factor doesn't really, the cards are kind of fun and stuff like that, but it doesn't feel that historical. But so far, I like it a lot, and I could play this with anybody from my son to my father. I think would play this even. So I hope you enjoyed the example of play, and take care.